Ahmed in Ohio has a evidently something I've said has made him more theistic. So how you doing, Ahmed?
Hi, Matt. Hi, David.
Hey, Ahmed.
Start to listen to you. Hi, sir. How you doing? No, you are fine. English is my second language, and I am very good at. I'm not very good at it, so please.
You're way better at it than I am at any other language. Let's just get to the point.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I've been listening to you, and your logic makes sense to me all the time. And I was raised as a Muslim, but you brought few things. It just makes me believe in Islam more and more. One of those things you said many times that if God did not guide me, he have to. If there is a God, he should guide me. But I found this in the Quran very obvious in the story of Abraham when he looked at the sun and he said, "This is my God," and when the sun is gone, he said, "This cannot be my God." And then he looked at the moon, and when the moon is gone, he said, "This cannot be my God because it's come and go." And he said, "If there is a God, he should guide me." And the Quran consider that a good argument. So when you bring this argument with your human thinking, it just makes me feel like the Quran is not misleading me.
Except that you're worshiping a God that you can't demonstrate exists. So at least with the sun and the moon, we can see that they're there some of the time. Allah is non-existent as far as we can tell. And so how could you possibly buy into the notion of a God that doesn't demonstrate its existence?
This is a very good question, and it's a big question, and I cannot summarize it in a call. And I have to admit that I'm a Muslim because I was raised as a Muslim, but I have doubted all my life about for a few things, and when I search it, I come back to the Islam, and I found it makes sense to me. That's why I am presenting this to you, because one of the things you said, another example, and I'm not going to the proven God because that's a big question, and for me to present my case to you, I got to be prepared. This is my only Sunday I am off, and I found you that I can call you, and I am happy to talk to you because I have a lot of respect to you and to your show, although we disagree with a lot of things, but the other thing that you brought in three things you brought in. And when I went and I searched it, it made me more confident of Islam. The story of the Noah and the flood. I went to... Yes, sir.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The story of the Noah and the flood. And in the Bible and the way you argument, there was no evidence that there is a flood that submerged all the earth and vanish all the human...
Let me cut in here. Ahmed, it sounds like you're saying that because Matt showed you that the Christian God didn't make sense, you reverted back to your Islam God, and you settled on that. It's as though you've made up your mind. You came to this conversation with the understanding that there must be a God, and you have to pick which one. And Matt demonstrated to you that the Christian God doesn't have sufficient evidence, and so you're reverted back to the God of your childhood. I'm asking you why you have come to the table with the predetermined idea that there must be a God, and I need to figure out which one to follow. We're saying there's not evidence for any God. Go ahead.
All right. I am not taking Matt is talking or evidence about Christianity as to prove that I'm a Muslim. Most of the stuff that he said about Christianity is been mentioned in the Quran and been mentioned, and I know it. So I know that the Bible is written by human, and there is no. But this is not. So I am talking about things.
Ahmed, stop. For clarity,
yes,
it seems to both me and Dave that you said you heard me debunk the Noah and the flood story, and this made you more confident in Islam. And that would be fallacious, because if I debunk Scientology, Christianity, and Hinduism, that doesn't tell you anything at all about whether or not Islam is true. Just because other religions are not true doesn't mean yours is more true. So when you say that you heard me say things about Noah and the flood that made you more confident in Islam, we're both asking you, how the hell could that possibly make you more confident in something? It's like saying, I proved that the burglar wasn't the butler, and so now I'm more confident than ever that it was the maid. That's not how evidence works.
Okay, can I explain, sir? Can I explain?
Sure.
The story of the Noah and the flood is in the Quran as well. And I went and I read it again. I'm not taking this because you criticize the Christianity. I did not say that if the Christianity is wrong, so Islam is right. No, I went to the Quran and I read again, and I searched all the verses that talk about the flood of the Noah. And I did not see any word saying that this flood submerged the whole earth. So it just
what difference does that make?
The story in the Quran makes sense to me.
No, stop. What you just said is that because you couldn't find a fault with the version of the story in the Quran, you believe it's true. But that's not the way reason works either.
I agree.
What's your reason for needing a God? Why do you feel the need to have a God at all, whether it's the Christian God or the Muslim God? Why can't you be satisfied with just saying, you know what, there's no evidence for any God, so I'm fine without any gods? Why do you feel the need to have a God? Because it sounds like you do.
Yes, I do. Okay.
Why?
Although this is what I wasn't preparing myself to do this, but I believe there is. I believe in the intelligent design. I believe there is things in the is created. It could not be created by its own. And I will whole design. There is a whole physiology behind this.
No. You don't get to call that design. You have to prove that it's design. You have to prove the design. Otherwise, is there anything in nature that you don't think is designed by Allah?
No, I think everything is designed by Allah.
Right. Now, that means that you're walking around looking at... Now, stop. If you think everything was designed by Allah, then you don't get to cite, hey, this was designed and this wasn't. That means that there's no way to show to you that there's natural processes that don't require a God, because you're presupposing a God.
Okay, very good. I need a help from you. I need to ask you a question. When I can say that this thing is designed by a designer, what is the condition?
When you have evidence that shows that it was designed by a designer.
So if I'm driving my Toyota and I cannot bring that it was designed in a factory, and I don't have any paper to prove it was designed.
Oh my God! Stop! Every piece of evidence we have shows that cars are designed by designers and that cars do not occur naturally. We recognize design by contrasting that thing which is designed by that which occurs naturally. Now, you don't have to be able to produce the document on your specific Toyota. We, as a society, already know this. We know that cars are designed.
Well, you used a bad analogy, Ahmad, because we can go to the factory and watch a Toyota be produced. We can see it with our eyes. You can't go and see the earth created out of nothing. So your assumption that a God did it, and now your double assumption that the particular God that you were raised with did it is fallacious, as Matt says, and you can't prove it.
All right.
I think, Ahmad, I go back to this, Ahmad. I mean, you believe because you want to believe, and you were raised in a certain faith tradition, and you've clung to that. You explored other things, and you came back to what you were comfortable with. And I think that's the bottom line. We're just saying that we don't see evidence for a God, any God. And I'm saying to you again, I feel like you simply want to believe there's a God for some reason. I'm telling you, you don't need to. Life can work just fine without being submitted to a God who gets to take credit for every good thing that happens in your life and gets to blame you for every bad thing that happens, by the way. But you can live life on your own without a God. And I encourage you to explore that idea, because I'm telling you, life makes a lot more sense. The chaotic, random nature of life makes a lot more sense when you don't try to attach a God to it. Because I've lived on both sides of that equation. So I would encourage you to explore life without the need for a God. That's my own thing.
Dave, you brought two things, and both of them are very good. The second thing that you brought, and I like it, that I need to pursue the life without a religion, and which I do already. I will deal with you not on a religious basis. I deal with if you are my neighbor, I will deal with you based on the good being of you and me and the whole neighborhood. So I do this already. So I have no problem. And the Islam telling me to do that with the people who does not believe in my religion and with the people who believe in my religion.
Really?
You
Really?
But
so
yes,
hang on.
Yes.
So what does the Quran say about non-believers?
It said in the Quran, two verses I will tell it to you in Arabic and I will translate it. لا إكراه في الدين. There is no compulsion in religion. There is no enforcement in religion. فمن شاء فليؤمن ومن شاء فليكبر. Whoever choose to believe, he can believe, and whoever choose to not to believe, he cannot believe. And I can send you in your email not one verse, not two, not three, not four. I can send you tens of verses that telling me that I should not have any problem with you if you are atheist, Buddhist, or anything, as long as you are not fight me against me based that I'm a Muslim. This is what
about Surah 2 verses 6 and 7? What's that say?
Could you give me a second? I will look it up.
Well, what it says here in my English translation is it says, don't bother warning the disbelievers. Allah has made it impossible for them to believe so that he can torture them forever after they die. So basically,
I know the translation. I know the translation is wrong.
Okay, well, then I'm going to move on, because I don't have any way to confirm what the translation says or does. And so this is the problem. This is the problem. No, stop. This is the problem every time I have a conversation with a Muslim. They all want to say, oh, your English understanding of what that surah means is not what that surah means. And yet there's all kinds of things about mistreating women, about killing the infidels, and all kinds of other problems with Islam that have nothing to do with whether or not I disproved Noah's Ark. We're going to move on to other callers. Ahmed, call us back another time.
I didn't.
Nope. I'm not going down the you have a bad translation route. It's out there in the public.
That's it's also very much like not all Christians argument.
Yeah.
When Christians misbehave. Well, not all Christians do that, but I know people personally who've converted out of Islam and they can't go home because their own parents tell them we'll have to kill you.
Yeah. I've had to help rescue people. I've had to help rescue people from what's going on. Now, okay, well, so your version of Islam isn't as bad as the other versions. Well, congratulations.
Not all Christians.
But yeah, and it's same for Christians too.
But that's the problem. That theology is a breeding ground for the misuse of it, just like with Christians. So that's why I say get rid of all of it, and you'll be better off. But he needs to believe in something, and I feel bad for him. Seems like a nice guy, but he just needs to have a God. That's sad.